Counting down. What's up, you guys? I am we are so excited to be coming to you live today. We have been planning really like for a while now on bringing you something really exciting, really entertaining, and most importantly, to really pull back the curtain and show you how we've been working together for the past, 7-8 years now, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't know me, my name is Kirsten Kirschbaum. I am a entrepreneur, network marketer, presidential diamond in doTERRA. I have had the pleasure of working with Joey and his beautiful wife, Cache, for a number of years now. We started this business together and have been going strong for about 7 years. And so I want to introduce to you my friend and business partner, Joey Wyson. Hey, Joey.
How's it going?
Really, really good. Thank you. So Joey and his wife, Cache, are blue diamonds in doTERRA. And just to get you kind of a feel of what that means, I actually have this earnings and disclosure statement that I'll post in the comments. So you guys can kind of get a feel for what that means, what a blue diamond. I sometimes think like, what does blue diamond mean to anyone who is not, in our company, right? It's like, purple diamonds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, it's the second highest rank in the entire company. It really is like.
Kirsten, we had one of our leaders, I was talking to her the other day, and she was like, yeah, Chrissy, she tricked me. She said, she showed me these things and these ranks, and she's like, diamond and blue diamond. She's like, I like blue diamonds.
Yes, I like yellow diamonds too. So, but what that means for you guys who are tuning in, who have been excited to kind of see what this is all about, what we're going to do is really dive in to what it has taken for a man like Joey, a father of 5, an entrepreneur, a business manager, to transition himself from where he was in his previous career to where he's at now. And so I want to start with some really important questions. I think that I want to hear from you, Joey, as well as everyone else. And that is, what did you do before doTERRA? Give us a feel for like who you are, where'd you grow up? Like, give us some background on who you are before doTERRA.
For sure. So I actually come from an entrepreneurial background. My father's an entrepreneur. He's owned businesses basically as far as I can remember. I remember as a little kid going and striping parking lots with him when I was like 6 years old, and I learned to drive and driving the street sweeper in the parking lot. And so, I was always part of that. And so it was really fun to be part of that. But also what came with that is working with family. And for the longest time, I actually thought that that's what I was going to do. That was my future. And that was my path. It was carved out. I actually dropped out of high school at 17 and got a GED. I don't even know if you knew that, Kirsten.
I did not know that. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't even graduate. I dropped out of high school at 17 and got a GED because I wanted to go learn the school of business from him and how to do that. And so with that, I loved what I did, and I loved to be able to be part of that and be part of that entrepreneurial mindset, but also at the same time understand that there's a lot of things that go on with life that we don't understand. Sometimes we feel like we have to be just employees and be part of those employees and understand. And it was interesting to me to grow up in that, but also in the end, not want to be, after all, part of that family business. Funny enough.
Right. So you're growing
be for years.
Yeah. So you're growing up in this family business and you're thinking, hey, I don't even need to graduate from high school, and we're not saying, that education is bad, but you had your path laid out in front of you and you thought this is how it was going to be. Great. So then what happened when you decided to build doTERRA? Like, how did that happen? What did that look like for you?
So actually at first it was kind of funny. Kyle and I joke about this a little bit. We called it the Girls Oils Club. And I was managing or helping to manage my dad's paving company. And then also we ended up doing something else. We managed a retail shop, and I was helping manage that actually. Mm-hmm. And so I was always in management positions, but with me, I never had to have a real job, really. Right. And so when we went into doTERRA, I was like, well, why do I want to walk away from all this when I have all this security? and go do doTERRA and this network marketing thing that was just kind of weird to me. And I didn't want anything to do with network marketing. It was a pyramid scheme, right? So that's what I thought.
Lots of viewpoints there. Yes, yes,
that's
yeah.
What I thought, and a lot of people think that.
Let's get a temperature. We've got some comments that are popping up. Todd, Carol, Zane. Hey, you guys, saying hey to Joey. Who here thought or thinks or has ever heard that network marketing is a pyramid scheme? Like, you know, and I'll kind of see these comments come in and let them show up. But I think that's an important question to start right off the bat with. That's something you were facing. And how many other people have thought or felt that maybe network marketing was not an honest profession? So yeah,
for sure. And so then as we continued on, I actually ended up walking away from the family business because of some family issues. And everybody knows who's ever worked with family, it is really difficult to work with family. Okay. There was a lot of expectations on me that I literally thought that I was defined by other people's expectations of me. And for the longest time, I felt scared to get out of that. But what really opened up to me was when Cache and I actually went to convention, and we saw all these amazing people walking the stage as diamonds and blue diamonds. And I'm thinking to myself, I like blue diamonds. Or I'm thinking to myself of, you know what? Why are they so different than me?
Right.
If they're just normal people. What makes them successful? Why can't we do this? And so I leaned over to Cache at that point and I said, Cache, I feel like this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Wow.
And I leaned over to her and I said, she goes, and she was kind of taken back, because you know Cache at the time. She was like, nope. She was kind of taken back, and she's like, really? And I go, yeah. I feel like this is what we're supposed to be doing. We can be diamonds. Why can't we be diamonds, right?
And how long had you been doing? How long had you been signed up with doTERRA at this point?
And how long was that? About 3.5 years, maybe 3 years.
Okay, so 3 years in. Isn't that interesting, you guys? Here's one of the main differences of doing doTERRA as doing most other network marketing companies. And we've had a lot of comments coming up how people felt, Todd, again, that's a belief that you had, didn't have a good experience with MLMs and things like that, right? Here's the difference, okay, is Joey and Cache had been, you know, sharing oils, having fun with it, using the product, and we'll talk about that in just a minute, right? 3 years in, now Joey comes to convention and it's like, we're going to do this. Like, this is a legitimate business. You, as a manager, as an entrepreneur from a very young age, looked at doTERRA and you're like, oh my goodness. So talk to me about that. What was it that you really felt in your heart? Talk to me about the products, you know, about the owners and why you decided to leave. Really what was like, I mean, I don't want to call it a golden ticket, okay? Don't call it a golden ticket, but it was, your dad is very successful. I know him and respect him as an entrepreneur. You walked away from that. Why?
It was interesting, right? And people will ask me that. I mean, my dad, he runs 2 very successful businesses, and sitting at convention and seeing these amazing people walk by and getting to know them and understanding that they're just normal people just like me, and seeing the freedom that they're able to talk about and create and have as part of them and their family. But then also thinking back, this may relate to some people, probably less than more, because there's not that many big families anymore. But I came from a big family. I came from a family of 7 brothers and sisters. Okay.
Yeah.
5 were original and 2 more were adopted. And so I came from a family of 7 brothers and sisters. And I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to, what's the word? Fight or quarrel over the what happens when my parents pass on, right?
Oh, wow.
What do I have as far as retirement? Because I had my dad's business I was working for, but really there was no retirement fund I was getting put into. There was nothing. It was just the business. And then when my parents, unfortunately, one day will have to pass, what do I do then? Right? So where is my retirement? And I'm getting, I'm thinking my family, and my family was pretty young at the time. And we had, I think, 3 kids when we started doing the business. And I thought to myself, I want to have what these people have. And I don't want to rely on my dad to be able to make me successful. I don't want to rely on anybody else to help us make us successful. And so I leaned to Cachet and I said, we're supposed to do this. And she looked at me and she said, what do you mean? She goes, we're supposed to be diamonds. And she goes, you know what that means, right? I go, well, I think so.
Yeah.
She goes, that means less time together, less time with family, me traveling more. Because at the time she was doing the business, right? I was still working 60 hours a week. And the big kicker for me is I was working 60 hours a week. I didn't get to go to my kids' activities. I was home. I went to work at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning. I got home at 6 o'clock at night, an hour to eat dinner, and then the kids went to bed. And I did it every day, all day long. And I missed Saturdays and my kids' t-ball games and things like that, where it just wasn't making sense to me anymore. And when we decided to do this, I mean, it was like, as soon as you commit your mind and as soon as you set your mind to do it, everything starts to open up and you start to begin to see the future. And one of my strengths is actually futuristic. That's one of my strengths. Yeah. And so I love to see the future of things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great description. So you mentioned something that I want to really, we have two choices here. We can do like the happy Instagram version of this, or we can like really pull back and be like Jerry Springer style, you know?
Yeah, right.
And we're going to go somewhere in the middle, right? We're going to be cool and professional. But Cachet says,
where's my chair?
Yeah. So Cachet said, she said something to you. Well, you know what that means. That means less time with family. That means, you know, those type of things. So what does she mean by that? Like, isn't building a network marketing company just like instant financial freedom and like millions of dollars and blue diamond, people throw blue diamonds at you and, you know? Yeah, what does that really mean? Yeah.
It's confetti, not blue diamonds, by the way.
Oh, it's confetti. Yeah.
No, really, it meant that we had to put our heads down and we had to put our heads to the grind and make it work. We had to work hard because in the beginning, it was a lot of work. And honestly, some days it's still a heck of a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah, it is. And you love it.
Yeah, and I do. But it looked like a lot of late nights. Cachet was traveling. She was homeschooling some of our kids. She was building all these things. And then, you know, it came to the point where I actually ended up going back to my dad's business because we were on food stamps, living in an 1,100 square foot basement apartment in Farmington, Utah when we started our doTERRA business. And I sold Vivint door to door, home security, and I made about $20,000 that year. So we had that much to live on for an entire year.
Wow.
And so we were struggling. And you know, it wasn't easy. Here's what it looked like. Our first class when we decided to do the business, Kirsten, you remember that class probably.
It was the most beautiful class that no one came to I have ever been to.
We spent over $400 that we didn't have on renting the facility, putting together food, passing out flyers, and learned the hard way the difference between amateurs and professionals.
Right.
And we had to decide what we were going to do because not a single person came to that class.
Right.
And we invited you and Melina up. You drove up an hour and a half to come teach this class with us, and nobody was there. Right.
What did you learn from that?
I think I learned that there's amateurs and professionals, as Eric Worre talks about. And he says in the book, Go Pro, he says amateurs are the ones that jump onto every scheme they can think of, and they start passing out flyers and going door to door and all this other stuff where you're like, okay, you're putting out a lot of energy, but then nobody comes.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because they don't have the personal touch with you.
Exactly.
And that's the big deal. They don't have the relationship, right? And now professionals, what they do is just like Derek Jeter. I love baseball. And Derek Jeter is one of the best baseball players to ever see the game. He's an instant Hall of Famer. And this guy, you know how he got professional is he was in the batting cage every single day for hours a day hitting his craft. And so we had to learn our craft and decide to make a change to learn how to do the business rather than just throwing it out on a whimsical.
Right. Yeah. Plastering flyers everywhere. So I feel like we have a lot of people that are on right now who are either doing doTERRA, they just started doTERRA, they're thinking about doing doTERRA. So what is working for you right now? What are you loving? What lights you and Cachet up in your business? What's some of that, you know, like that you guys are working and doing that's working well?
So I love to network. I'm a networking guy, right? And I'm actually, includer is like my 6th or 7th strength. I like everybody to be part of it. I'm also significant, so I like to feel significant. But my top 3 are influencer categories.
Okay.
And so I really love to influence people to be better people and better leaders and help leaders to grow into who they are. My number one is maximizer. So I had a great call the other day with one of our leaders, and I was able to string together some words that she just couldn't put together for some reason when she's finding builders. Because I love maximizing the tools that I have to be able to help and work for my benefit, right?
Yeah.
And then my other one, interesting enough, is harmony. Funny enough.
Yeah.
And harmony of all things. And I talked to Emily Wright, who's one of the owners of doTERRA. And Emily Wright told me something really interesting. She said, you know what harmony means? Because I always thought it was a girly category. I'm like, I'm not harmonic.
It sounds a little feminine. Yeah.
So she said, harmony means that you're the type of person that can see a goal and then find the least path of resistance to get there.
Wow.
And it was quite interesting. And so I love being able to help people, raise people up, elevate them so that they can believe in themselves. And what I do is I don't quit until they do what they accomplished out to do.
You got that bulldog tenacity that will ensure that everyone will be successful. And that's what's working for you in your business right now. I agree.
It's motivating our leaders to be able to see the belief within themselves that they know that it's their business, but they're not in it alone.
Yes. Beautiful. I love it. Thank you. So let's jump a little bit more into the actual business of doTERRA. So if you're just joining us, you don't fully know what doTERRA means, or, you know, you're looking around trying to find your tribe and a new opportunity that can really align with who you are and what your goals are. Maybe you've tried other businesses. You've been working for family for a long time, like Joey was, or maybe you're a mom like Cachet and I, just raising, you know, maybe not 5 kids alone. Who does that? But, you know, just kidding. I do. But, you know, maybe you got one, or you got some fur babies at home, right? But you are really searching. So I want to go over a really special guide. It's actually here, and this is free for everyone. If you've already subscribed to our broadcast, you would have received this guide previous. If not, just stay on to the end, and I will post a link so you guys can all download this guide that goes over your business. So what I love about this is it really talks about why you would want to partner with doTERRA, right? And Joey covered some of this as well. So there's really a few reasons why. And let me tell you something that means the most to me when I'm looking at partnering with a company. And Joey, you said something about, you know, because I was thinking, well, you know, heaven forbid your father and mother pass on at some point, right? And you could be successful at their company. You could work hard. You could totally bust your butt doing, you know, filling in the shoes. You could make something of that, right?
I could.
But there was a reason why not. And I'm sure there are a few, but one of them is when you're looking at the business model of a company that you want to partner with, there's a couple of things. And number one for me is the retention rate and the product, right? I have been doing this business for 8 years, as have Joey and Cachet, going on 8 years now. And we use the essential oils. We use the supplements. We talk about them. We love them, right? I've had many people come and go in my business. And I would say for me, about 70% of them actually continue purchasing the product. Right? So with doTERRA, they have an average of their whole company, 65% retention rate. And what that means is, let's say that you work really hard and you sign up 100 people in a year. Okay, that would be amazing and totally doable. And you sign up 100 people. That means that the next year, 65 out of 100 of those people are still purchasing products from doTERRA because they're life-changing and because they work, right? So you do work one time and you are continued to pay. I'm still paid 8 years later on people who I shared with in the very beginning, right? So there are many, I'm seeing tons of comments. I'm going to show a few of these. Annetta, loving, right? Just loving the oils. Can't imagine going back.
And Kirsten, on that note, what I love is, here's a prime example, is as deep as we are into doTERRA, if doTERRA said tomorrow that there's no more wellness advocates, nobody gets paid, we're just going to go to retail, I would still purchase the product.
Yeah,
I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah.
But I would still purchase the product.
Right.
That's what's powerful about what we do, because it's a company that stands behind their product and what they stand for.
Yeah. And let's talk a little bit more about what they stand for. So one thing, and you are going to love this question, Joey, but I just want you to share from your heart what happened to you and, those that you were with when you went on your first Healing Hands trip. And let me explain really quickly for those of you who don't know, doTERRA is just as much about essential oils and healing the world and helping people create financial freedom as they are about impacting communities around the world where we source our essential oils from, and where we can go in and actually create lasting change in the infrastructure, in the education of these countries where we're sourcing our oils. And I'd love to hear from you guys too that are on. Have any of you been on a Healing Hands trip already? Or are you mostly driven? If you haven't been, do you want to go? Maybe comment where you would like to go on a Healing Hands trip. We would love to hear from you guys as well. So Joey, please tell us about your experience on these trips.
Thank you for asking that question. That is actually one of the biggest things that drives me in doTERRA. And my Nepal trip actually started about a year before I went. And the reason I say that is because my amazing kids, after the earthquakes in Nepal, they actually decided every other year we do a combined birthday. And that year that happened, doTERRA said for every $1 that's donated towards Nepal, we're going to match those donations.
Oh, that's right.
My kids decided to put their birthdays on hold, in a sense, and take one birthday gift from mom and dad, and they took the rest of the people that they invited, and we invited a lot of people, and threw a big bash in my parents' backyard.
And I went there.
Yep, you did. And asked everybody, instead of donating a gift to Rin Kaira Joji Reikin, just donate money to Healing Hands. And what was amazing is that my kids were able to collect about $2,500 from that birthday.
Wow.
And so then doTERRA matched that. And so my kids were able to donate $5,000 towards their earthquake relief in Nepal. And so that was incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And that touched my heart more than anything. So when they said they're going to Nepal, that was the first year they went there. I put my name on that list so fast, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I got to go to this Nepal country. And let me tell you, Nepal is a different place. It is different than anything I've ever seen. And I've traveled the world a little bit. I've seen Mexico, and I've never seen poverty like I did in Nepal. And these people are happy and gracious and beautiful and amazing people. And let me just tell you, we got to go there to open up and finish painting and open up the first school that was rebuilt as an earthquake-proof school in Nepal, which was 1 year after the earthquakes. And I got to be part of that group with some amazing leaders. And we got to work and sweat and see these amazing people and how gracious they were as they cried to us and told us how amazing and how grateful that they were that we were there to help them and their kids to be able to go to school again, because they were living on dirt floors with water buffalo instead of cows, because that's the sacred animal there, with water buffalo under their houses. So the manure stench was gross. Their houses were built with mud and rocks and stone. And to be able to see that, talk about life changing. Talk about being grateful to come home to running water that I can turn on at the faucet and take a shower with.
Right. Yeah. So
that was powerful to me.
Absolutely. Yeah. So in Nepal, so talk about how doTERRA works in Nepal. What oils do they source there? Like why does doTERRA choose to go into those countries?
So one of the things that I love about doTERRA is that they choose oils not only where they're the most indigenous, have the highest medicinal potency and medicinal properties, but also where they can make the biggest impact in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so powerful. They can get all the wintergreen they want from China. But China doesn't need the income and the economy as much as Nepal does. Mm-hmm. Where Nepal, after the earthquakes, was donated several $100 million, and the government is so corrupt that the people didn't see any of that money.
Wow.
And doTERRA gets hands-on, on-the-ground people to be able to build amazing facilities for these people. So we source our wintergreen out of Nepal. We source part of our wintergreen. The single bottle wintergreen comes out of Nepal. The wintergreen is a wild grown plant that only grows at a specific elevation, at a specific latitude and longitude on the mountain in the Himalayan mountains.
Okay. Right? Yeah.
Like, I can't even explain it. It grows at its exact degree in the Himalayan mountains. And so that's the only place you can source it. You can't cultivate it. So we allow these people to source an amazing product, and these women get up early in the morning and go carry these 100-pound packs of wintergreen down the mountain for miles every morning so that they can sell it, so that doTERRA can distill it, so that the locals can distill it, so that doTERRA can then bottle it and sell it to these amazing people across the world that are benefited health-wise, but we're also benefiting all these people economic-wise across Nepal with amazing ability to send their kids to school now.
Right. And I want to just real quickly, when they had this earthquake and they couldn't send their kids to school, and they actually have, I want to call them disgusting poachers who come into these villages and they trick the families and they say, hey, we'll take your children into the city and we will educate them and they will have the best opportunities ever. Right.
Yep.
And what actually happens?
And they end up being sold into slavery.
Yeah.
End up being sold as sex slaves, child slavery.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. The other thing that we did there is a Days for Girls, where we have no idea how these girls don't understand what their cycles look like, how to be, clean during that time.
Yeah.
And Days for Girls gets to go in, and doTERRA is a huge partner of them.
Yeah.
And teach these girls how to take care of themselves.
Yeah, it's amazing. I sometimes joke around. I'm like, I don't care if you hate essential oils. doTERRA is amazing. And most people don't hate essential oils. But anyway, it really, really drives home the point of this company is all heart. And the opportunity here for each of us to find a path that will lead us to where we're meant to go in the future, contributing financial freedom, and really just a collective group of people who are authentic, who have integrity, who really mean what they say and do what they say they're going to do, right?
One thing that always stands out to me is David Sterling, the CEO. He said, my retirement was taken care of long ago.
Yeah.
He has no reason to keep going and blessing lives. It was taken care of long before doTERRA. Yeah. Yet he felt his responsibility to share this beautiful thing with the world.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a company that has its own mission, and I feel blessed to be a part of it. So I know you do too as well. So we're going to wrap up here. I just want to kind of shift gears and go back to all of you guys who took your time today to watch either live. And thank you so much for your comments. I love it. I've been trying to show as many of them as possible. It's really cool to feel the energy and the support from all of you guys. So thank you for that. I want to jump back into you guys and pose this question for you. What would make the biggest impact on your life? And there's in our guide here, in our build guide, there's a couple of options here. So let me take a little poll from you guys. Okay. So earning more money, is that what drives you? And this isn't about me, but I will tell you, in the beginning, it was 100%. I needed to earn more money. I was in a really, really bad situation, kind of like what Joey had mentioned, living in a basement apartment with all these kids. And, it really was about the money for me. So who here would, and I don't mean like, obviously we all want to make more money, but it's really about that for you at this point. You've got to make it work. You've got to create a business that's going to take care of your basic, living expenses, right? You want to be debt free. You want to have a generous savings account. You want to have complete financial freedom. I call it making money while you sleep. And, someone actually commented down here. I'm actually going to show this because, again, this is the real deal. This is the real deal stuff. Let me scroll back down to this comment. Where did it go? Here we go. Veronica, I've been told you just want to make money off of my hard work. Oh my gosh. Is that not like the most really potent, sometimes true statement that can really get spun in network marketing? Joey, will you address that? Do you want to make money off of other people's hard work?
Listen, do you know what's incredible about what we do is that I work harder for my leaders than I do for myself. Mm-hmm. I travel to New Zealand to help them and my team down there because they're amazing people and they deserve to be blessed as much as I do. And I honestly, they're farther down in my organization and I don't make much money on them, but I still travel to New Zealand to help the people down there that I know and love because that's what doTERRA is about. And, one of the leaders in doTERRA said that I keep doing what I'm doing because other people's kids deserve to be blessed as much as my kids have been. Wow.
I love it. I've never heard that and I love it. Thank you. So yeah, that is a question though, right? Like I think people feel and they're not sure, well, only the people at the top make money and I'm going to work really hard so they can all make money. And, I want you to really actually, just like me, I try to take myself out of it. You know what I mean? It's really not about me. It's about me helping the most people get what they want. So that also I can get what I want. And I don't apologize for that because of course I want to be as financially free as I possibly can, not so that I can just disappear off the face of the earth and never talk to anybody again, but so that I can actually make the greatest impact and be who I'm meant to be in this world and unapologetically that way. I think again, I like to say there are good network marketers and bad network marketers. Joey called it amateurs and professionals, right? But there's also good lawyers and bad lawyers. There's good doctors, there's bad doctors. There's good and bad in any profession. And so that's really one of the points of this interview is to, again, just show you who we are and what we do and how we do it better, meaning we serve people more. That's really what that means. So I think, again, going back to looking at what would make the biggest impact in your life, another part of that financial freedom is more charitable giving, is going on those healing hands trips. Or if you don't want to go to Nepal, you certainly are free to serve your community and you have the time and the income and the place to really do a lot of good in the world.
And Kirsten, I just want to throw one thing out there. Say, we talk about the oils and how amazing they are and how they don't have any negative side effects and things like that, right? And they only, use peppermint. It might be able to help you with headache, with your head tension and things like that you're able to take care of. But also with the business side of things, you go and share the oils and the negative side or the side effect is that you happen to actually get a paycheck for it. Like, I can't believe we actually get a paycheck for sharing these amazing oils with people.
Yeah. That's an interesting perspective for sure. Oh, we got a comment on Tracy's going to Brazil next month. That's awesome. Yes, so cool.
That was a hard trip to get on. Lucky for her.
Yeah, you got that. That was meant to be for you. That's so cool. So other things, again, kind of finishing up, like the things that are going to mean the most to you, how you can work smarter, creating actual time freedom. I work with a lot of professionals, health coaches, chiropractors, doctors even. I know Joey works very closely with a dentist. And they love what they do, right? But they have no time freedom. They are absolutely married to their job. And that is something that you, at some point in your life, either now or in 10 years from now, you will have to look at what amount of time you are spending, you know, and you know, how you might want to change that. So, and then again, doing what you love, just doing what you love, traveling, education, spending time with your family. There are exact business plans for you in this build guide that you can actually, you know, write down exactly what you want to create and have an exact step-by-step business plan created for you. So my invitation to you, I hope you have enjoyed Joey and his experiences, his story, his authenticity, and, you know, really what he has created. I hope you can see yourself and those that maybe you know and care about, and how this could really be an answer for you. But if you're wondering, okay, so what do I do now and how do I move forward? I invite you to go back to whoever it was that invited you to watch this with us, and just let them know, hey, I definitely want to learn more. I will also post in the comments here a link for a page that I have put together. It's free for everyone to check out. It's called Why. And it really is my why of why I do what I do, how I show up to serve, and really like our whole team. This is the page that we use to explain doTERRA, the business, the compensation plan. You know, we didn't go too deep into like all the different ways that you get paid in this. I feel like that's more of a personal thing. Like you can really get into the specifics of that by watching some of the videos, taking some notes, and then of course asking questions. So please feel free to reach back out to me, to Joey, and also whoever it was that invited you to this Facebook Live event. So,
and
Joey,
Kirsten, can I just end with one quote that has always stood out to me by John Assaraf?
Please do.
He's the author of The Answer and this co-author of The Secret, and he says the naysayers, the people who say that it doesn't work, are usually the ones who couldn't make it work for themselves, so they're giving you an opinion. And don't confuse opinions with expertise, because opinions are free. And don't confuse sincerity with the truth, because people can be sincerely wrong. And I love that quote, because no matter what anybody tells you about network marketing, the only way that it's going to work is if you treat it as a business and not a hobby. If you treat it like a hobby, it'll cost you like a hobby. But if you treat it like it's a business, like any other business out there, it will pay you like a business.
Absolutely. And it has paid you. And really, really proud of you and Cachet. Thank you so much for your time. Working with you guys means the world to us. And
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Joey. You look at me. He dressed up in a suit for this. Can you believe it? Just kidding. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. And thank you to our whole group here. We are getting tons of comments. Everyone is just thanking you. Thank you, Joey. I want to, where's the other one? Oh, here we go. Lots of people that are really appreciative of what you guys have created, Joey. So thank you so much. And we're going to sign off and look forward to future interviews that I will be doing. We've got more coming, different people from all walks of life. So stay tuned. If you want to subscribe to this broadcast and just be notified whenever we're about to go live, you can actually do that. I will post in the comments how you can stay connected to us. So look out for that as well. And we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye, guys. Take care.